This is The Loop, and I'm so excited to have Jeff Staple here with us today. He's been a huge mentor in my career, and we're happy to have him here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for having me, ladies.
We're not
awesome.
worthy.
Oh gosh,
She did her moment.
Wayne's World. She had to.
So you've got a lot of different titles, but why don't you introduce yourself to us?
Yeah.
Formally.
It's hard. I mean, I do a lot of different things. I mean, I have a clothing line that I founded in 1997. Which is like, I know people watching are like, 1997?
I wasn't even born then.
Yeah,
No, you're
97.
definitely an OG in the game for
Thank
sure.
you very much.
Oh,
That's a nice
that's
way of
nice.
saying it.
Mega OG. White.
Yeah, so if you look up Pigeon Dunk, you might see a familiar face, you know, so.
2005, front page of the New York Post.
Which Robbie was
I was working there at the time.
Wow.
You're working at the New York
I was
Post?
at Post in 2009.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Remember
Okay, yes, oh my God.
Yes, I was at the bar. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
So much history there.
Huge.
But tell us, what is the Jeff Staple design process? What ethics do you work by? What do you live by? How is it done?
Positive social contagion.
Wait, Sophia's just gonna answer the questions for me today?
Sophia, this is Jeff's moment.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is Jeff's day.
Sit here
Let
quiet.
him
No, you know,
Smile.
like as you guys know, like collaborations are sort of a dime a dozen now. Like there's one coming out, I feel like every hour. So it's
Literally.
hard to like be in the game for literally like a quarter century, constantly doing I know, quarter century is crazy to hear, but like we've been in the game for like 25 years, constantly putting out collaboration and projects and making sure that they're like authentic and people resonate with them. So I think number one is just authenticity, being like aligning with projects that we really feel good about, even if they might not make a lot of sense. Like for instance, Sophia and I are wearing the Staple Allbirds collaboration. It's like a head scratcher, like what Allbird, why would they do that? You know, but we feel good about the brand and we go out there and do it. And thanks for the
Nice.
nice. But yeah, so like just constantly zigging when others are zagging and doing things that are just like hitting the culture hard. That's what we try to do.
But still keeping like the integrity of like who you are,
That's
your
important.
brand.
Yeah.
Especially with like the generation now, they can smell bullshit from a mile away. Like I can smell Sophia's feet. Like, you know, you could just smell that like, you know, anytime. So like, I think you gotta preserve the authenticity.
Hang on a second. Can we get right to the good stuff? Because
Yeah.
apparently you're dropping a shoe.
Yes.
Like now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
come
at the
on.
end of this month, so
Can
I
we-
brought it. This is the first time I've ever been on any outlet showing the shoes. So you
Oh,
guys are getting the scoop.
My
It is-
bad.
Which
I am-
Puma is this? There's been a few. Which one is this
Yeah,
now?
I like revisiting old friends. We've done Pumas before. We've done, I mean, at least like a dozen different Pumas at this point.
20 different Clydes.
This one is with our friends in Japan, Atmos.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yes. So,
I got to
How did that come along? Like, how did that?
so the first time I went to Japan, 20 years ago, I met the owner of Atmos.
Because they make fire collaborations
Yes,
too. Their designs.
and for
Yeah.
women, they have like a
yeah.
whole women's
Oh, they have a
store.
whole shop.
Yeah.
You got to go to the mall.
There's a
for
lot
it.
of love
It's
there
great.
for women.
So I've just been friends with the founder of Atmos for like 2 decades now, and we always try to do stuff together. We've done a couple of Bear Bricks together. We just did a New Balance together last November, and so now we're doing this.
Nice. So nice.
Yep.
Give it
So,
a gaze.
as you know, if you know my brand, the unofficial bird of New York City is the pigeon. The unofficial bird of Tokyo is the black crow. If you go to Tokyo, these black crows are scary. They're scary, man. So we did the pigeon black crow edition where we mixed both birds together.
I was wondering why there was a black.
cool.
Yeah. But I love being able to add our legacy to this along with Atmos. It's really dope. And Puma's always a lot of fun to work with, as you know.
My favorite thing about these shoes are the fluffy suede bits on the back.
Thank you.
And the hologrammy effect of this side here. Because
Nice.
I'm all about hologram space things and
That's funky. Really enjoy that the crow is on here as well as the pigeon, and it's just, these are unofficial birds, but it, you know, it's like the yin and yang, and
Yeah.
it just really works. So
I really appreciate the story. I think it's more the story that makes me want them. Like I wouldn't typically wear, and I love suede, I typically probably wouldn't wear like, you know, like this print here, this pattern, but I really I love the story behind these, so I
Thank
would
you.
rock them. For sure.
I just love that you're continuing the story for
Thank
the
you.
Puma Staple collabs
Yeah.
and Classic Pink. I like it.
Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate the storyline, because a lot of the criticisms that we get is like, oh, you're always making things look like pigeons. You always put the pigeon on it.
Yeah.
But like,
Okay.
Hello.
I know. It's like I am building a brand. Like, do you tell Ralph Lauren like, yo, stop with that polo horse, son? It's
Yeah.
tired. Like,
Or
yo,
Lacoste with
Tommy.
the alligator.
Yeah, like no,
Yeah.
like you'll get it 30 years from now when like I've built a legacy. Like that's when maybe
there
you'll
you go.
understand.
Here. So where do you get your inspiration from now that we're in a pandemic? You obviously used to travel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
How do you stay inspired and stay in touch with your community?
I've actually been going backwards in time. So I'm like digging in
okay.
the crates. I'm like going through my archives, old sketchbooks. This is the time where like you never have an opportunity to look into your hard drives and be like, oh my God, look at what I did in like 10 years ago, you know? So now I've been really digging into those crates and just being inspired by the past work that I've done. It's
How
pretty fun.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's really cool. What are your 3 collabs still on your dream list, Jeff?
I used to have a dream list, but I don't anymore.
Oh, that's good.
Because your dream is now your reality.
What you're saying is you have everything
No,
you want.
no,
done
not
it all.
I'll tell you 2
Don't be
brands
naughty.
that were on the collab list, on the dream collab list. One was NASA, and the other one was Bruce Lee. And the problem is now, like, everything is for sale, everything is licensable. So it's like, if you just have a big enough paycheck, you can get any collaboration you want in this world.
They literally
Sure.
have like NASA as Zara.
Yeah, exactly. So when I see that, I'm like, womp womp, I don't want a NASA
Yeah, no,
collab.
the appeal's
Yeah.
done. The appeal's
Yeah,
done.
yep.
How do you bring that back though? How do you make that authentic again and not oversaturated and
I think it's with content and storytelling. So if I can get with
gonna say
like
that.
the director of NASA and have like a conversation and we do like a business
Yeah,
of
let's
hype
just do that.
podcast.
Why can't we just do that?
Okay, I'll put that back on the list.
Yeah, put that back on the list.
how do you feel about being made into that
That G.I. Joe figure.
Yeah, that weird looking.
Yo, it's
They
like
got the forehead hairline well.
Yeah, like Daniel Yad.
again, like it's you know, Daniel Yad is a great artist, similar to Mimi Yoon. He's a fan. He created that thing. That thing.
And
It's
you-
me. No, I love it. I love it. I love it, and I blessed it. And I was
Yeah.
like, yo, I want to support this. And frankly speaking, I supported that more so than I supported Mimi Yoon's in the sense that like I engaged in the selling of that. Whereas the Mimi Yoon thing, I was like, go for it, do you. But like,
Wow.
I don't want to necessarily
Actually.
be part of the business part of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So moving fast forward into
Yeah.
2021, NFTs.
Yes. So I don't know. There's obviously a lot of bandwagon hopping onto this, you know, NFT thing. There's money to be made. It seems like there's real money being made by real people. I think that the verdict is still out on all the pros and the cons. For instance, just in the last month, there's been a lot of talk about the environmental impact of NFTs, which is terrible. Anyway, I don't have the answers. Some people are saying, calling bullshit on it. Some people are saying it's the future. I'm waiting. I don't jump into pools like immediately. I sort of see if the water's warm and then I decide to jump in. So that being said, we are working on an NFT, but I am gonna do like a carbon tax on myself. So whatever carbon impact that NFT creates, I'm gonna pay cash to tax myself so that the carbon number is reduced.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
yeah.
Very charitable.
There you have it, Jeff Staple, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank
That was
you.
fun.
Time.
Amazing.